Good morning, Chief. How you doing? Morning, Gloomy. Hey, Dana. Chief just got here. We're at the police commission. Hey, Shelley. Hope everyone's doing good. How's everyone doing today? Sorry, a little quiet today. I'm still in vacation mode with the city council off, but I wanted to come today. So I want to talk about their national night out. It starts back up on Tuesday, so there's a few more days. I wanted to done Zoom today, but they just don't call enough people, so I don't want to risk it. I definitely wanted to speak to them today. And you know, with the Zoom, it's hit or miss. But it'll be good to get back to business on Tuesday next week. Happy Gilmore's here. Oh, thank you, Victoria. We love and miss smoke and scan without having the meetings. But yeah, and then don't and 3-inch shrimp. But we love you guys. Yeah, next week. Yep. I know, right? It's like back to normal. I know. It's like it was nice having some downtime. I actually started reading. I've read 3 books in the past 2 weeks. So I've been just where's Shelley? Exactly. I think we need to be asking that question again. You know, that's what I think. I know. I love Shrimp. He's a good guy. He does. I always, after the meetings, I go to I watch him like later on in the night and I do the recap. He's hilarious. Hey, Amy. Hey, funny. Hey, guys, we don't do politics in here. Just, hey, interesting. Is they them? Yeah, believe me, it was nice. We actually, my guy and I went down to the San Clemente Pier a couple times, and actually he had surgery, and then I, like I'm recovering for something like an injury, and so yeah, so it's good we had some time off. That's the chief. That's a go on, but I'm gonna I have I'm here because like their national night out is next week, and Scientology is hosting one. And I just want to remind them, ask them not to be a part of it at all. That if they really want to be neutral, they need to not do their programs. Yeah. Well, I say the same things, but like, I guess I just take a different approach. Um, we'll say I'm going to be asking them to, they need to make it where victims can come and approach them, and and then like those two girls, they said, please, whatever you do, don't call LAPD, and that's sad. No victim of, um, no victim should be afraid to come because they think that they're in bed. No, no, he's not here. I don't know if he's coming. I think she's just a member of the public. I know. Scientology Crime Watch does great work. It was a pleasure meeting you too. And I'm not on X much. So I need to probably try to get more on there. Yeah. She said she's coming. I signed her in. But by the time, they get, some time to get through, the opening. I will. Yeah. She did. She's doing really good. And it's just seeing her bloom and really do great with the meetings, the most like public works yesterday too, and the meeting with the president. It's great seeing her get her story out. Yeah, I'm loving it, guys. That's a good question. Actually, that's a really good question. Stolen valor. Yeah, she is. Exactly. Yeah, she's getting. Yeah, it's not that her comments are every week. I think it was like overcoming the nerves, but she's getting used to it now. It's she's getting empowered. She is. Oh, we made it really plain yesterday, so. That's true, and you're doing great too, Miriam. Everyone. Yeah, that was great yesterday. Yes, public record. It's true. It's very important. Oh, thank you. Primals. Different styles, everyone has different styles, but hopefully we're all working on the same thing, right? Oh, thank you, Granny. Oh, thank you so much.
Or tracking of the constructed shall be deemed off topic, and your public comment period will be concluded. Message for those attending the meeting. These meetings are regular meetings between the board, department, and key stakeholders. Meetings of the board of police commissioners are open to the public. The state route and Brown Act affords the public the opportunity to be present at the meetings, give their presentations and dialogue in real time, and provide feedback via the public comment period. During these meetings, there's a need for the board to carry out the public business expeditiously without delays or disruption. Members of the audience should not engage in any conduct which causes an actual disruption of the meeting. Those attending in person are reminded that disruptive behavior will be cause for removal. If you disrupt this meeting, you will be provided with only one warning to cease disruptive behavior. If you fail to cease such behavior, you will be removed from the meeting. All attendees must be seated. Failure to follow this rule will result in a warning and or removal from the meeting. With that, we move on to item number 1, report of the chief of police.
Morning, President Sellers, Vice President Shields, Commissioners, Inspector General Paramount, City Attorney Delaguerre. Today I'll be covering key events from the last 2 weeks, share our latest crime trends, and provide an update on our staff. First, I want to take a moment to express my deepest condolences for the loss of 3 Los Angeles County Sheriff detectives, Joshua Eklund, Rick Lemus, and Osborne. These are dedicated public servants who tragically lost their lives while working to render safe the piece of military ordnance they had recovered in 1940. This is an unimaginable loss, and our hearts go out to their families, their colleagues, and the entire LA County Sheriff's Department. We stand with them as they grieve and begin to heal from this tragedy. In the days following this incident, our LAPD bomb squad and SWAT team stepped in to assist with calls that would typically fall under the responsibility of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. It was a way for us to help carry the load while their personnel focused on honoring their fallen and supporting one another through an incredibly difficult time. As of Friday, LASD SWAT has resumed normal operations and is once again handling their own calls. Their bomb squad, however, has not fully resumed service, so our LAPD bomb squad has continued to respond as needed for support. On July 24th, we held funeral services for Sergeant Joe Ding. It was a tough day for both his family and the department. I want to thank everyone who came out to support his family and stand alongside them. Your presence meant a great deal and was a powerful reminder of the impact Sergeant Ding had on the people around him and on our department. Sergeant Ding was well respected, well liked, and deeply committed to his work. He made a meaningful difference throughout his career. His smile and his caring nature will be truly missed. On July 20th, at approximately 7:45 p.m., Devonshire Patrol Division uniformed officers responded to a radio call of a PDW suspect armed with a firearm in the 20,000 block of Prairie Street. As an air unit arrived over the call location, they observed the suspect on a skateboard attempting to flee and directed responding officers to the suspect, later identified as Romario Iraheta, who is now at the 9300 block of Corbin Avenue. Iraheta continued to flee and a foot pursuit ensued, during which time he pointed the firearm at the officers, resulting in an officer-involved shooting. Iraheta was struck by gunfire but continued to run, stopping a short time later and was taken into custody without further incident. The suspect was transported to a local hospital where he received treatment for a gunshot wound to his left shoulder. The suspect remained hospitalized in stable condition and was absentee booked for assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer with a firearm. No officers or community members were injured during this incident, and a black steel 9mm Glock 19 pistol loaded with a high-capacity magazine and live rounds were recovered at the scene and booked as evidence. Force Investigation Division investigators are investigating this incident. Year to date, we've had 26 officer-involved shootings compared to 18 at this time last year. There's a story that has been in the media for the last week or so in particular. I want to address recent concerns regarding ongoing disturbances at a residence located at 4777 White Oak Avenue, Lake Valley. This location has been the subject of numerous complaints from community members going back to 2021, primarily due to repeated loud and disruptive parties. In response, the department designated the address as a special location within our computer-aided dispatch system. This designation ensures responding officers and importantly the supervisor receive immediate notice of the location's history, relevant municipal codes applicable to enforcement. Over the past 4 years, our West Valley officers, led by the assigned senior lead officer, have maintained consistent enforcement efforts. These efforts have included multiple in-person warnings, the issuance of administrative citation enforcement citations, and formal letters from the city attorney's office. Each time enforcement action was taken, the disturbance temporarily ceased, only to resume weeks or months later. Most recently, after another party was shut down on July 26th, an additional case citation was issued. The matter was referred back to the city attorney. This was the fourth citation issued over the 4-year period. We're now working in coordination with the prosecuting city attorney's office to file misdemeanor charges for disturbing the peace and elevate placing restrictions on the property, including the potential for abatement. If those restrictions are imposed and violated, the occupant may be subject to arrest. To further strengthen our response, Operations Valley Bureau is updating the special location protocol so that any call for service in this address will now be dispatched as a code 2 priority, ensuring a faster response. Additionally, this coming weekend, West Valley will deploy a dedicated party car to proactively monitor and respond to party-related calls, not only at this location, but throughout the area. Officers have also been instructed to issue misdemeanor custody citations should violations continue. While these types of situations are complex, not prolonged through the legal proceedings, we will continue to take actions within the full scope of our authority. We've also had a burglary series in Encino, which has got quite a bit of media attention. Our department is aware of a series of burglaries that occurred in the Encino area between July 13th and July 21st. During that time, we responded to multiple incidents, some involving suspects entering homes while residents were present, as well as a double homicide that resulted from one such burglary. We've identified a clear path for entering through unlocked windows of crime. That juvenile response incident involved a public figure. While that has naturally drawn headlines on an incident involving a public figure, I want to make it absolutely clear. All victims in these crimes deserve and are receiving our full attention. In response, we deployed additional resources to the area. Some of these efforts will be visible, such as markers, others may not be as obvious. In coordinated investigations supported by metropolitan detectives. We're also working closely with our counterparts in other parts of the city. Some of the suspects involved in the casino crime appear to be connected to burglaries in other geographic areas. Our investigators are actively reviewing physical evidence, video footage, and forensic leads from various scenes. We're using every tool at our disposal to identify and apprehend those responsible. This is a top priority for us, and we understand how unsettling it is when these types of crimes occur, especially in broad daylight while families are at home. Our goal is to restore a sense of security and safety to our community. On July 26th, officers from Metropolitan Police Platoon, working closely with North Hollywood detectives, made 2 key arrests involving the South American burglary crew that's been targeted across the San Fernando Valley. This crew has been under investigation for several residential burglaries in the North Hollywood area. Officers noted that a Ford Explorer that was associated with this crew was in a residential area in the casino, and based on its behavior, believed the suspect were either casing homes or actively committing burglary. As officers were deploying to the location, undercover officers observed 2 suspects running from a residence and entering a vehicle while a home alarm could be heard going off nearby. Surveillance units followed the suspects while patrol confirmed the residential burglary had occurred. To minimize risk, officers waited until the suspect stopped before making their move. The vehicle eventually stopped in Van Nuys, but before officers could intercept it, the suspects jumped into a black discarding stolen property as they drove. Their support tracked the suspects while ground units recovered most of the stolen items. The vehicle was ultimately stopped near Haskell and Seventh, where suspects fled on foot. Officers quickly set up a perimeter, and with the assistance of Van Nuys Patrol and Metro K9, both suspects were located hiding nearby and taken into custody without incident. Both suspects were booked for residential burglary. Detectives are continuing their investigation to identify any additional individuals involved and determine the full extent of the crew's activity across the region. On July 21st, our major theft task force detectives made a follow-up arrest tied to a South American theft crew that's been responsible for a number of burglaries across the city and surrounding areas. Detectives took a female suspect into custody in Devonshire area. She had been renting a storage unit on Hollywood with stash and stolen property. Earlier this year, we arrested 3 members of that same group and served a search warrant on the storage unit, where we recovered nearly 400 pieces of jewelry, burglary tools, including a blowtorch, Wi-Fi jammers, fake IDs, and unregistered firearm. Photos of the stolen jewelry were circulated by our technical investigation division, and 2 victims were able to identify some of their stolen property. The suspect is now in charge with 2 counts of receiving stolen property. For the most recent 4-week period, June 29th through July 26th, we've seen a 6.3% decrease in combined violent and property crimes compared to the previous 4 weeks. Violent crimes are down 4.4%, property crimes are down 7%. Year-to-date homicides are down 26.4%. Victims shot show an 8.5% reduction. Aggravated assaults about 9.3%. Robberies citywide are up 6.8% over the past 4 weeks. We're seeing increases in both strong arm robberies, which are up nearly 14%, and firearms involved robberies, which are up 8%. One area that stands out is Van Nuys, which has experienced the most significant increase. After reviewing the circumstances, we identified specific patterns of Estes-type robberies. These are thefts that escalate into robberies during shopping, typically when force or resistance is involved. In this case, despite it being concentrated around a commercial strip mall, specifically involving Sephora and Target. We're actively addressing the issue by working closely with store security teams to increase patrols in the area. In addition, our senior lead officers are engaging in store management to review the environmental layout of the location and explore crime prevention strategies for environmental design. This includes looking at things like visibility, access points, and current measures to help reduce opportunities for theft and violence. With regard to burglaries, we saw a 2.8% increase in burglaries citywide over the past 4 weeks. Residential burglaries rose 6%, which was 40 additional crimes. The most significant increase was in North Hollywood, which reported 19 more residential burglaries than the previous period. We're currently reviewing the arrests I mentioned earlier related to the South American burglary group to determine how many of those incidents may be connected to this spike. Non-residential burglaries also increased by 9%, 27 more crimes. At this point, we have not identified a specific pattern, but we have seen some repeat victimization at storage unit facilities, which are monitored closely. Motor vehicle theft is down slightly, just under 2%. And our personnel strength, sworn personnel as of June 14th was 8,725. Our civilian professional staff is at 2,618. And we're currently at 51 reserve officers. That concludes my report to the commission.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for bringing some attention to the hot crowds that are happening in the casino, and of course, as they're happening in the daytime, it's particularly disturbing. So we want to make sure that the public is educated and made more aware of what they should and should not be doing on those things. People are putting more brains in with regards to who they're targeting. I'm going to defer to my fellow commissioners. I'll start with President Shields.
Thank you, Chief, for the report. I'm so sorry that I was not able to attend the memorial service for Sergeant Banks. If I was in town and in the state, I would have absolutely been there. And it's, any walk of life is tragic, but particularly when there are losses of life in the line of duty. And now we've had not only Sergeant Banks, but then 3 deputies with the Sheriff's Department, and most recently with the NYPD. My condolences to all of them. It's particularly devastating to the departments who have to suffer those that really highlight of those on the job. And, many thanks to those who continue to wear the badge honorably. And particular thanks to the LAPD bomb squad and SWAT team that immediately went in to help the sheriffs. And again, just didn't hesitate to continue to put themselves in that same danger. And thank you for highlighting the fact that the burglary is happening and it's top priority. Because, you know, putting aside statistics, that this is the place where people feel the most vulnerable and feel like crime is, you know, up, when it is impacting them and their neighbors. And I'm glad to hear that there were a couple of key arrests for the areas in Encino and North Hollywood that have been targeted more recently, some of these by organized groups and others. When the department is identifying locations where the automatic license plate readers should be put, are these types of factors considered so that they are kind of a top priority?
Yes, they are. I wouldn't talk about specific placement, but, yeah, that's certainly something that's taken into account with the fact where, the greatest number of incidents are, so that we can use strategically.
Anything else that the residents should do or know about the modus operandi essentially of these crews so that they are better protected in their homes?
Yeah, typically what we see with the crews, we've seen South American, burglary crews. We've also seen, some that have, been arrested that, come from South Los Angeles, and they're replicating the tactics and all of the South American burglary crews using jammers, more sophisticated, pre-incident surveillance, where they may have cameras laid out, on the property or in a car parked on the street across from the target house for a period of time to be able to determine the pattern of life, when the person's going to be home, when they're going to be gone. So a greater level of sophistication than we had seen in prior years. Also, their MO is to generally then when they believe no one's home, come knock on the door, wait for response, knock again, maybe go away and then come back again 15 minutes later, knock again, and then go about to the back of the house, generally enter through a slider, break the glass, get in. They're in there for a short period of time. We've used Wi-Fi jammers to be able to disable the camera system and an alarm system if they're wireless, cut the wires if they find those, and be in and out very, very rapidly, and then take the take a safe, a small safe if they can, but they go after expensive handbags and jewelry and things that are easily be for resale. And then the crews generally transport that stolen property to a warehouse type arrangement, very organized, and then distributed from there. So yeah, there are commonalities among the two different types of crews that are operating, but a lot of similar characteristics in the way they do business.
And we won't get into the investigative efforts to identify all of the important locations where they're operating, but the department is making all efforts to identify those areas.
We are, we're doing as much follow-up as we can, roll back warrants. What the public can do is be a good neighbor. Show up to your own property, have cameras, use your neighbor's cameras to be able to help, your property as well, and to be able to look out for each other. You know, there's nothing better than a good neighbor and somebody who sees something that they know is out of place, a car in the driveway that doesn't belong there. Give us a call when you see that kind of thing happen, and if you can get a license plate, sort of all the better. But don't put yourself in harm's way to try and further that investigation for all us.
Thank you. And I know that you have made some changes within the department. Any kind of high level that you want to tell us about and what you hope to accomplish with your changes?
Yeah, ultimately is trying to make our organization as efficient as we can be, as accountable as we can be as we move forward. Given the limited staffing we have to be very judicious about how we deploy our personnel resources. In an eye toward being as effective as we can, we've had a good year in driving crime down, but also to be able to look out for the future, get the training in order that we need for the upcoming major events, the World Cup and the Olympics and Paralympic Games, and to be able also then to our major events group to be able to coordinate what needs to be done in a more focused fashion, to be able to enable us to be where we need to be at according to the timeline for training
extension support?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chief.
One.
I covered a lot of the points that Commissioner Shields already touched on, and in particular, the service for our fallen officer last week. I was there, and it was indeed very, very moving. I want to just focus briefly on the increase of burglaries throughout our city, and indeed, they are very unsettling. And you did state, and I'm happy to hear this, that you intend to give, and you do give full attention to of the department to all victims that are throughout the city of LA, not just in those areas that are unfortunately undergoing continued criminal activity. But throughout the city, I would want our citizens of the city to know that LAPD is also focusing on them and giving them the same type of attention if they are in fact victims of a home burglary. I also want to congratulate all those officers that received a promotion. I congratulate all of them, and I look forward to working with them as they continue to improve the conditions that protect our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Chief, I did have one question and a comment. Is there any additional information on the bike crews or the street takeovers that are happening throughout the city? Particularly those street takeovers that resulted in burglaries of AutoZone retail stores after.
So we have a task force that's dealing specifically with that problem. I can get back to you on where they are. There have been some arrests made, some citation issued, and working also closely with other agencies in the region who are also experiencing the same type of activity, probably from many of the same individuals involved. So we're working that as aggressively as we can with the resources.
Thank you. And I'd like to follow up on the comments of my fellow commissioners regarding the recent promotions and the reorganization in the department. Particularly, you moved the Community Safety Partnership Bureau into the operations with the other 4 bureaus. Thank you for that. And I'd like to commend you and the department. We were just notified that the Community Safety Partnership Bureau is going to receive the 2025 International Association Chief Leadership and Community Policing Award. And then we received that award in October in November. So congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very proud of the team. When you look at the stats for the areas that they're deployed, where we had in past years a lot of homicides, a lot of shootings, that is down dramatically from where it was. So you can't argue with the impact that it had in a very positive way on some of our more challenged communities throughout the city. And I'm very happy to see that being recognized internationally now. So yeah, I'm very proud of it.
Thank you. We'll now move on to agenda item number 2, public comment. Madam Secretary, please announce the first speaker.
Andrew Gregor.
Starting off, Chief's report, Chief limit to relax on minutes of the meeting. If it exceeds 3 minutes, which is rational, the chief takes, regardless of how long it takes to report, everyone should speak of the person in the phone. So once again, the amount of shootings is going up, shooting people, it's up from last year. Now a reminder that Michael Moore was partially pushed out because the LAPD was shooting and killing people so much. So I wonder what's going to happen to McDonald's. There's always, part of why this report goes so long, is because there's so much time spent in this report, giving all this commentary and unnecessary fluff that it's not necessary to know what's going on in the department. It's basically just trying to make yourselves look better so you can get some good sound bites and try to distract from what the LAPD is actually doing. We have the consent agenda. We have more looking for training, which is not gonna help anybody, never does. We have the collaborative response, right? Collaborate with who? That's an interesting question. to collaborating with ICE, because you keep doing that, you keep lying, claiming that you are. We have a grant from the CHP related to the tax on cannabis. We shouldn't be giving a cannabis tax towards the police. We should be giving it towards things that actually don't keep people safe. We have equipment from Bedford Metro and training divisions, thought that. We have $2,500 for a holiday party, no. 34, I thought 40 for volunteer uniforms, no. $19,000 for a holiday party, no. No on these holiday parties. Fuck the cadet program, it's where you indoctrinate teenagers while sexually assaulting.
Right.
And we've got the regular agenda item. Okay, so now, maybe the city attorney and executive director can help opine on this. So I see on the records, I was looking at the records related to the nomination of Mary Lee to the commission, which was failed, but I saw something interesting. It looks like Aaron Sutter's term ended on June 30th of this year. So, and he has, as of yet, according to the website, he has not been renominated by the mayor, he has not been reconfirmed by city council. So should he be sitting on this commission right now?
No.
Because he hasn't been reconfirmed by city council. He should be kicked out immediately. Get out, Errol!
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, but I would like
All items, please.
okay.
First I'd like to say my condolences go out to everyone, in regards to Sergeant Dang. That's a terrible tragedy, and no one should have to suffer the loss of such a, valiant, victor in our community. So, I'd like to say that first of all, because it's important. Also, I'd like to point out that I've been calling him consistently since April 6th. How many months is that? 4 months to get a call in. So when you limit our time and you cut people's time short, you're limiting our voice. And it took me 4 months to get my voice. So now I've just wasted, I think 30 seconds of my 3 minutes to tell you that. But what I'm calling about is that I'm questioning what entanglements the LAPD has with Scientology. Why is Scientology exempt from due diligence? Why are they giving preferential treatment? Just over a year ago, a person being held at the Big Blue Building on LRH Way in desperation wrote help in the window, please hate, begging for help. LAPD was called immediately. What did they do? They came out and talked to their security guard, AKA the captor. And the captor said, oh no, nothing to see here, folks. And they went away and nothing was ever done to this poor person desperately begging for help. What kind of situation do you have to be in that your only avenue of escape is to write help in tape in the window? These are people that are held under 24-hour guard. Their street is constantly closed off. So even if they manage to get out a window or out a door, they're immediately captured because there are video cameras everywhere and people and security everywhere. That security is not to keep people out. That security is to keep people in prison, keep people in. I know for a fact Scientology is a destructive human and trafficking cult, and yet when its members beg us for help, they just get brushed off and ignored. That needs to be followed up on. That there's a person there trying to escape, begging for help, and they're just being completely ignored. It's ridiculous. Why is Scientology exempt from due diligence? Why are they safe pointed? You have to ask yourself that. What's this connection to LAPD and Scientology? It needs to be investigated. This person's cry for help needs to get investigated. These people are vulnerable and they need us. And we're just ignoring them. Please do better. Please. Thank you. I yield back my time.
We have Marvin Outreach.
Mr. Dottie speaking on my public.
Well, ask for 3 minutes, bro. Bro, ask for 3 minutes. Ask for 3.
I actually only need one, but I do appreciate you. This is an excerpt from Lowry versus City of Los Angeles, 2023, 23 STC 26504. Plaintiff Marvin Lewis Lowry Jr. is a 4-year-old native Californian. I've lived in Los Angeles County for the majority of my life. First Burbank, then Glendale, now the general west side area, always west of Highland. I graduated high school from John Rose High School in 2001. I'm single child. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have George on the.
I have something really important.
All items, please.
3 minutes.
Thank you. First, I want to send my prayers and condolences to those who died in the incident with LASD and in yesterday's horrific attack. My condolences go out to the family of Officer Islam and NYPD's 47th precinct, and may Officer Dang rest in peace as well. Now, today, I had to change my name since I have not been called on in the past weeks. Maybe it's intentional, not calling on me to give public comment. So today, I'm George, but I prefer to be called Philip. There's something about this department that just stinks. Jim, your honeymoon is over and you have not impressed me one bit. At least you're not a rush like our former chief, but you have done nothing worth talking good about. The latest round of promotions and laterals sure speaks volumes. The only move that is a breath of fresh air is moving loose hand Marco Lozano out of Foothill. But I feel bad for the officers in Northeast. That man does not deserve to be a Captain 3. To Lozano, if you are listening, good riddance. You're gone. I told you to your face that you could never silence me. When anyone speaks truth to power in this department, you end up getting smithed. And I'm proof of that even happens on a civilian level. Jim, why are you guys like him? Why are guys like him in positions of power when they do not know how to follow the rules? Lozano talked about another command staff officer's personnel file, made a female CPAD member cry at a meeting. I was there, and even touched a woman's thigh without her consent. I thought this department cared about women. You promoted you promoted him to deputy chief. You promoted deputy chief to Hurtado. What in the world were you thinking there? This man met a woman at the LAPD Wives Club and proceeded to see her again and again. Her husband worked at Valley Traffic. Hurtado, of course. He is a part of the same bad culture of officers like Al Labrada, also known as Air Brada, for stalking a woman. Hurtado perjured himself to overturn a BLM motion. I may not agree with BLM's politics, but fair is fair, and what Hurtado did was wrong. This man has no moral compass, and you promoted him. What a disgrace. There's more I want to talk about here about Hurtado, but I only give 3 minutes. Jim, do something instead of letting this department down and letting the people of Los Angeles down. Stop being Mayor Bass's puppet. Bring back the blue line flag. Bring back pretext stops. I also stand with anybody talking on Scientology. Audit LA is on topic.
Next, we have Margarita Carranza. Laura Anderson.
Hi, guys. I'm back. I was a child born and raised in Scientology, so for the record, everybody knows my mission here is to expose the crimes of Scientology. I do appreciate everybody else that comes with this. I very much understand there's a lot going on, and there always will be a lot going on in LA in terms of crime and all of that. Right now, I'm addressing Scientology. Jim, Raja, If any of you can help me get somebody in Northeast Division, Police Division, that will actually be a safe person, a police officer, or somebody that I could meet with and know, okay, this person is okay for an ex-Scientologist trying to leave or run away. This has happened multiple times. They just announced the help sign outside the window. That was last year. 8 months ago, two sisters, teenagers, were running away, and Odo, the security guard who I grew up with as a child, was chasing them down, trying to find out where they ran off. Odo, the security guard, also has the direct number to somebody in the Northeast Hollywood division that comes on his cell phone, that comes without the sirens and shows up on his call, on security's call for Scientology. That is so unsafe. That is so corrupt. Especially when you're hearing reports and protesters protesting Scientology, trying to help people get out. They are trying, I tried to get out. I was just in the Scientology arbitration. I was just in a Scientology arbitration with one of my best friends that I grew up in the cult with. She's in arbitration with Scientology, a fake corrupt arbitration. This is the case number 19STCB 21210. She's in a current court case with her VS leader, David Miscavige. So this is the current court case. I was just at her, the witness for her. Okay, this is a corrupt policy they're doing. They've never done arbitration. There's no such policy as arbitration in Scientology. So all this is made up. We need somebody that they safely can go to. Any Scientologist, any Sea Org member, any third person that thinks they're going to be killed or whatever by Scientology because if they leave, they have too much information to report. That is correct. But we can't give you that information if there's nobody that they can literally escape to and be safe with. If they hear that people like myself that have been protesting say a certain person in the LAPD or a certain person is safe to go to, and that person is very in tune with people who have left, who are fighting for their rights on this, that's going to feel a lot better. I know the LAPD has a lot going on, but Scientology is in every city, and every city of Los Angeles and the whole Ventura area in California, all over. So there's going to be multiple people, old, young, children trying to leave. We need to have safe police officers that you know are actually safe and don't have anything to do with corrupting Scientologists.
Thank you, Memphis.
Good job. Good job, Ron.
Mr. Austin Wilson.
Amazing, thank you.
Please. Thank you. Thank you. I promise I didn't plan this. However, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today, Commissioners, Chief, President OIG. I have been speaking with my measly 3 minutes for the past year and a half. Lately, the topic has been how abuse survivors are hesitant to report because of the perceived relationship with Scientology and how they are intimidated because of it. I asked that Janet Whelan be removed from the CPAP. The other night, guess who was attending the CPAP? Janet Whelan. She is the representative of Scientology on the board. No other religions have a representative. And I have nothing against Janet. She probably is a great person. I don't know her personally. And she has gained your trust for over 40 years on the board. That's a freaking long time. But truth be told, that is her job. It's her job in the paramilitary division of the cult of Scientology. She signed a billion-year contract and gets paid $50 a week if she does a good job, and has not seen her son in years or has ever met her grandbabies. He left the cult, and per their disconnection policy, she can't see him or her grandbabies for $50 a week. She is made to be at the meetings each month, whether she feels good or not. And at her age, oh my goodness, my statements are true. You, the commissioners, you, the chief, are enabling and encouraging this violation of civil rights and, quite frankly, illegal behavior because they do the same to children. Kids cannot consent. There's a book that is being released today, in fact, called Child X by Jamie Mustard. Again, Child X by Jamie Mustard. You may want to get it to see the horrors that have happened in LA. I am asking for two things. because of this. Remove the Scientologist seat on the CPAP. They don't belong there with the ongoing lawsuits such as Valerie Haney's. And two, other police departments around the country have a cult team, a task force, if you will. If you have one, please disclose the names and the team names to either Audit LA or Lara. And if not, please assemble one so that we can interact with them. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Next, we have William Good. William Good. Audit LA.
Ma'am, hold on, we'll get your mic.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Can you hear me? I don't think it's on. Oh, push it. Okay, is that better? Good morning, and I'm here to continue what Laura and Mona and the other caller are speaking about. We have to make a safe environment for victims. I don't think LAPD is fully aware. They've been in partnership in a sense because of the CPAPs and all the safe pointing things that Scientology does. They give you awards. They just awarded the fire department recently. And so they have all these, we do graffiti, we do this and that. So they seem like great partners for a police department, but they're not. That's just a front. They're hiding a lot of crimes, a tremendous amount of crimes and abuses, and they warehouse, seniors, and there's so much going on there that the victims are coming out, but they're coming out on YouTube. They're coming out writing books like the one that's being released today, X, A Child X by Jamie Mustard. Please read it. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to reading it. But they're where they're not going to the police. Okay, and so no victim, no crime, right? That's the premise. So if we don't create a safe environment for victims, where they feel they can only go to YouTube, they can only write a book, they can only go elsewhere, but they can't come here. It took me a long time to get Laura to feel safe enough to come here. By seeing me consistently coming, she's coming and she's getting her voice. And I hope she's finally able to be heard. And Sarah, it wasn't by accident I bumped into you before you even became chief, because there are so many victims that need help, but they don't feel safe. And I love Mona's idea about, if there is and Laura's a safe officer or a unit that can help, because they need to come forward. And I'm asking you to not only to remove them from CPAP, but to please not allow LAPD to be any part of their, whether it's their Christmas programs or their National Night Out, which is going to be August 4th. I know they're inviting you guys to be there. I am begging you. You cannot appear as, neutral if your officers are attending their events. Thankfully, the OIG, I believe it was, stopped, or LAPD did stop having their officers do the extra overtime work at Scientology events. That's a great start, but it's got to go further. You have got to disconnect until there's too many lawsuits at this point, and many more are coming because they are getting lawyers. But what they need is police reports. They need to be able to call you and talk to you, and to be able to take next steps and see what can help. Investigations need to be happening. But you can't say, oh, we're going to investigate, or yes, we're here for you, we're a safe place, and you're showing up at their National Night Out. I am begging you to not have anything to do with their National Night Out. Thank you.
Thank you for taking my call. You all need a copy of Child X. Imagine you sending your baby to a nursery in Los Angeles from birth to be sitting in its bassinet crying in the bush because they only have 7-year-olds taking care of the babies. How can you do that? How can you have let that go under your nose? How can you have babies have failure to cry sitting in poop all week, never being held or comforted? How do you allow a help sign to be ignored? Don't you have exigent circumstances that you go in and you look at things? They did that with the person in Waterbury, Connecticut that was held captive for 20 years and he had to set fire.
Is that what it's gonna take for you guys to go in and look at Scientology? Didn't you just raid the TikTok cult that was featured on Netflix? When are you gonna do that for Scientology? When are you gonna start saving the people? You have a concentration camp going on under your nose. When are you gonna go in? Don't you remember what happened when they went in after World War II and they made the citizens look and see what was going on under their noses with the heaps of bodies rising from the ashes of the Holocaust? Well, you have something that is creating ashes. You have people withering inside, working $47 a week. How can you allow this? Slavery, I thought it ended in America, but you're allowing this to go on. How did you do this? Don't you have a conscience? Don't you have a moral compass as officers? Why don't you send your kids in there to work? Would you allow that? Would you allow your bank accounts, IRAs, retirement accounts to be drained by your kids because they joined the very thing that you're protecting? How could you do that? You have no conscience to let this happen. You are in bizarro world. Additionally, you had somebody, this is off topic now, but I was just talking about somebody that rammed into a club on North Vermont and someone used a gun to stop them from causing damage. And you're going after the person trying to start the harm. It's the same thing as you're doing against protesters that are trying to raise awareness of what's going on in that cult. How could you do that? You guys might as well be holding up the sign from the entrance of Auschwitz that says Arbeit macht frei. Everybody's telling you, they're explaining to you what's going on, but that you sit on your hands and do nothing. Where are you gonna have your judgment in Nuremberg? Are you gonna say you were following orders, just like was done at the Nuremberg tribunals? Where is your conscience? Your kids are laughing at you that you sit in a town that allows these atrocities to go on. You will be judged.
Um,
More information on you. I have a problem, I need an, what do we
How?
call, oil?
he wants me to help him because
Go ahead, you talk for me, you know what.
no, he needs to, he was a victim. I'm not gonna get too much into details, but he wants to get a copy of his records because somehow the case went awry and, he never received any justice. And, there's question as to what happened. Like the prosecutor said that the police fouled up. The police said that, I don't know, something else fouled up. And so he just wants to be able to go through his record of the investigation to see if that's possible, because they were not able to release that to him, just so we could see where, because if it was at the prosecutorial level where they messed up, then he would like to see what he can do to pursue justice, because he's never received justice. This victimization happened in 2016. It's been a long journey for him. So I don't know if that's possible, but that's what he's asking for.
And he's directed officer, that will write down. Thank you. Wow.
I still gonna have to go with him.
Good morning, can you hear me? All items, please. On July 1st, I raised concerns about an ICE incident in Meyer, so LAPD appeared to arrive at the exact moment of life. I was pulled aside by Deputy John Gearhart and Captain Robles.
Did great. And guys, I have to help him, so I'm in some callers. But, I'm gonna have to mute it. Here, go in. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I had to take care of that.
The situation is so serious that I believe this is the only solution. This is the only legitimate excuse for you not to demand this highest level of police oversight being under extreme duress. And it is unacceptable for the public officials to be under duress. So if you are unwilling to take the smallest zero cost step to protect vulnerable people, please tell me the reason.
Morning. My name is Alexi. I'm a social worker in the city of Los Angeles, and I also volunteer as a street medic and a mental health crisis responder in downtown LA. Over the past 2 months, I've seen people brutalized by LAPD officers in full riot gear under the guise of rioting. Apparently, according to the LAPD, rioting means holding umbrellas, chanting, walking a few feet over an invisible line on federal property. I've had CS gas thrown at my feet. I've had flashbangs shot directly at me, and now I have hearing loss in both ears. I've treated people with baton injuries, chemical burns, and gaping wounds from rubber bullets. You claim that this is in the name of public safety, but in reality, it's just suppression. Wanting to understand what was being used and where, I filed a Public Records Act request. I asked for basic accountability. What munitions were deployed, where, and in what quantity? The LAPD's response? They said they couldn't find any of those records. No incident logs, no dates, no breakdowns. Just a link to an outdated website and a virtual shred. If the department can't or won't track the weapons it deploys on our communities, how are we supposed to believe that you're operating under any kind of meaningful oversight? And this isn't a new problem. In 2022, LAPD paid nearly $48 million in police misconduct settlements. In 2023, that number rose up to over $54 million. From 2015 to 2020, more than $200 million in legal payouts for excessive force, wrongful arrests, abuse of power. These are patterns. In 2020, after the murder of George Floyd, LAPD used rubber bullets and tear gas on peaceful protests. Street medics were shot, legal observers were detained, and mass arrests were made. In 2023, at Echo Park Lake, LAPD kettled and assaulted protesters defending unhoused residents. At pro-Palestine demonstrations, LAPD escalated even when the protests remained peaceful. And just this June, LAPD did it again, deploying so-called less lethal rounds, tear gas and batons on protesters opposing ICE. Dozens were injured, many hospitalized, and several arrests for doing nothing more than being present. Outside the detention center, it's happening again. Visible organizers are being targeted, press and medics are being injured, and masked men claiming to be federal agents and armed with snipers and assault rifles are abducting people off the streets without ID or explanation. If this commission is serious about accountability, then we need action. Not more platitudes, not empty apologies, and no more virtual shrugs. I demand that this commission demand a public report on all recent use of force incidents at the detention center protests and the downtown protests in early June, and prohibit the use of chemical weapons on peaceful assemblies.
Bravo!
Thank you.
And ma'am, to the extent you have not already raised those complaints, can we have someone speak to her? So to make sure that all of the complaints are under investigation.
You didn't already need stains?
Under investigation by you. You're the ones who did it.
You haven't
How
even
can you
responded to the
investigate it?
fucking letter that was sent 3 months ago.
Protect and to serve.
Julian McCarr is coming.
It's pointless to go talk to them.
Let's try.
Good morning, team. My name is Julian Alexander McCarthy from Highland Park. I'm a behavior interventionist and volunteer for a number of nonprofits in the greater Los Angeles area. To speak today, the lives of individuals, the futures of families, of officers, and civilians lie in your hands. From the event and from the personal accountability of officers on the field to the policies created here, ones that they're obligated to uphold. Statements from the chief of police to the mayor repeat the same. We are not aiding ICE or federal operations. Yet this summer, we've seen LAPD act as a security and escort service to federal engines, all the while engaging aggressively to peaceful protesters. The mission of LAPD is to safeguard the lives and property of the people we serve. Whom do you serve with these actions? Because the people have been illegally terrorized and kidnapped while in your presence. Residents disfigured by tear gas canisters. Law-abiding citizens in a state of complete fear, resident or not. Whose communities have had their quality of life improved with their current ethical standards? Again, a part of our mission. What do you want history to read? LAPD is currently assaulting protesters outside of our federal authority. That happened today, it's happened yesterday, it's happened throughout these weeks. Peacefully restricting our First Amendment right to protest. Whom do you want your children to see when they look into your eyes? God bless you.
Michael Blenkamp?
Evan
Oh.
No, it's okay.
So on July 24th, there was an overwhelming show of force by the LAPD in response to peaceful protesters near the federal building. The justification given was that DHS agents had claimed that they were attacked. Officers swiftly moved in to arrest demonstrators, and several individuals were injured in the process, some even requiring hospitalization. Most of these arrests have since been released, with charges dropped due to lack of evidence of attacks occurring. Additionally, LAPD cited the presence of a daycare facility at the federal building and claimed that temporary structures used by protesters to store items were torn down and removed. Some protesters were also cited in connection with these structures. This response was excessive and deeply concerning. It is important to note that a large number of arrests made by ICE and DHS are later thrown out in court due to false claims or lack of evidence. These fake imprisonments these false imprisonments don't just violate civil rights, they cost the city millions in legal fees and in settlements. Furthermore, many ICE vehicles involved in recent raids have been violating local procedure with license plates being removed or even using false tags. This is not right. This is not accurate at all to what LAPD should be doing. They should be focusing on ensuring that these federal agents are following the procedure. They should not be allowed to just hide up, mask up, and continue to do these raids. As of right now, they haven't been doing as many due to the recent restraining order. However, they will be back if that temporary restraining order is lifted. Meanwhile, in the Valley, there has been a sharp rise in burglaries and other criminal activity. There has been a drop in 4 weeks, but compared to last year, there has been a 150% increase compared to previous. At the recent Encino meeting, it was reported that only one patrol car was assigned to cover 33 square miles. That is simply unacceptable. The commission should be focused on protecting the people of Los Angeles, not acting as backup for federal operations that are legally questionable and actively harming my communities. I really yield my time.
Thank you.
Megan?
Errol's term expired on June 30th. He should not be here. But as we know, he doesn't actually really care about the rules and will enforce them as he sees fit, as he told us a couple weeks ago. That lack of accountability and rule by force is a microcosm of how policing functions. Obey me or else. As we've seen the last couple weeks, as more, kind of middle-class white people have been showing up here out of concern for LAPD's collaboration with ICE and their repression of protesters. We also see who Earl listens to and who he values, because, those white people are allowed to speak out of turn and kind of do whatever they want during the meeting. But when it's a black man or a black woman doing the same, he's kicking them out. And if you keep showing up to these meetings, I appreciate the people that are here for the first time today, you will see that for yourself. He shows us all the time who he obeys and who policing actually protects. White property owners. So both LAPD and Earl have a super cozy relationship with the Israeli military. You can look it up. Who's currently starving people to death. After controlling, criminalizing, displacing, and murdering Palestinians for 75 years in the name of safety. Controlling, criminalizing, displacing, and murdering people in the name of safety. Why does that sound familiar? Who else do we know who does that? LAPD shootings are up 35% this year, and McDonald delivers us that information every week in his signature board monotone. Dead Angelinos are just the cost of doing business. And the most I've heard any of you say about it is that it's troubling. That was Teresa Sanchez Gordon 2 weeks ago. But when it comes to robberies, she'll say that those are very unsettling. Rasha says any loss of life is tragic, but it's particularly tragic when officers die. To her, it's not particularly tragic when LAPD kills civilians, just kind of sort of tragic, I guess. I'm just wondering if you've ever been to the memorial service for a victim of LAPD, and are you sorry to miss those as well? You all have multiple follow-up questions regarding the robberies, and yet just no more questions at all about LAPD shootings being up 35%. On the agenda today is money for more LAPD training. It includes 5 separate trainings on Celebrate, which is software that is used to hack and strip your cell phones of data, this ever-expanding police state that we live in. We spend thousands of dollars on college courses like queer studies and race and racism, and yet earlier this year, you tortured and killed a trans woman, Linda Becerra Moran, who called you for help, and continue to kill disproportionate numbers of Black people. This is performative theater. There is no accountability for police in Los Angeles. Fuck the LAPD and fuck all you too.
Term expired, Earl.
John Avalos?
Bye, Earl. Nice knowing you.
Go puppets here.
For Israel.
Disrupting the meeting. You're not speaking right now. You're disrupting the meeting. It's your first and only and last warning.
Maybe you can't see him. He's white.
You are disrupting the meeting. This is your first and last warning.
Thanks.
Yeah, 3 minutes, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
I made it. Hi, everybody. Yeah, Errol, I can't see you where I'm sitting. I can't see you. Like you're hiding behind that computer.
Sit up, Earl.
And then at the beginning of the meeting, you're telling us we cannot stand. I swear to God, go over there and try, sitting there and you can see for yourself. Your face is not visible. I want to be able to see your faces. My name is John Avalos. I live in Highland Park. I'm looking for a place to live. I live in a garage. No friend. Too expensive. I'm being run out of Highland Park. But I'm here. I have 3 things that I want to talk about. The first one is the videos that I'm seeing of the way you are treating the protesters over there at the Federal Building. You are brutal. Brutal. And then the way you yell at them and call them names. And then the one video of a policewoman, Latina, is saying, oh yeah, well, 4118, that's the law we just passed for the homeless. You are violating 4118, protesters. What? That's a whole different context. The way you sweep and destroy the homeless, using the police, that's 4118. But why can you use that over here at the Federal Building? Is that what you want, Senora? Rasha, is that what you want? Are you the leaders in this? I cannot believe this. These other guys on the edge, they're staffers, but you 4 right there, staffers too. You guys are part of the system. You 3, is this what you want?
Yes.
You have been brutal, and you still are brutal. 4118, how can they use that as a reason to brutalize the protesters? And then you tear down the art. I'm an arts educator. You tear down the artwork of the protesters. How dare you? Do you know they're tearing down the art that they've hanged up? Rasha, did you know that? I bet you don't even know this. Do you? No, say something. Okay, the second thing on my agenda. The sheriffs, that day of the King's March, it was beautiful downtown. It was packed with people, a lot of young kids, young teenagers all dressed up real cool. We were feeling good that we were together and we were gonna deal with ICE, we were gonna work on it together. All of a sudden, the sheriffs who were protected over there at the Hall of Injustice were protected by the brand new green barbed wire. Are my 3 minutes over?
Yes, sir, it is.
Oh,
Thank
I'll
you.
be back.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I'm right here.
Thank you, Lenny.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ariana Walker. I am a healthcare provider here in Los Angeles. And the LAPD is operating as a publicly funded threat. Let's begin with the facts. At the federal building downtown, peaceful protesters exercising their First Amendment rights have been illegally detained. No charges, no cause, and more importantly, no transparency. Just like the people taken into vans every night, LAPD deploys no fewer than 40 vehicles. 40. Under the guise of public safety, as stated by the officers on site. But what safety and for whom? This is not public protection. It is a targeted harassment and it's intimidation funded by our tax dollars. The LAPD operates on an over $3 billion budget. That doesn't include the multi-million-dollar lawsuits that you guys keep losing for assault, wrongful death, civil rights violations, and misconduct. Every dollar that goes into this department is a dollar stolen from housing, healthcare, education, mental health, and real community safety. And for what? To defend your fear? If you were afraid to do a job that you signed up for in a uniform you chose to wear, with a gun and a badge that we paid for, then how do you think that unarmed civilians feel when you pull up with rifles, armored trucks, and federal agents in unmarked vans? Let's talk about a little history, shall we? The modern police system in America evolved from slave patrols, groups formed to hunt, capture, and punish enslaved people escaping to freedom. That's the DNA of policing in this country, and as we can see, that's legacy is alive and well. Now in 2025, you graduated from being a violent gang to being a taxpayer-funded terrorist organization.
That's right.
You collaborate with DHS, who beat protesters while you stand there and you do nothing. You ignore federal guidelines, you allow ICE to operate with no license plates or fake plates, impersonating military units and blatantly violating multiple California laws, including Vehicle Code 4463, Vehicle Code 5200, 5201, Government Code 759.5, SB 54, the California Values Act. And don't get me started about all of the federal and constitutional violations. So why is LAPD letting ICE roam the streets with no IDs, no accountability, and no oversight? Why are you aiding in this behavior that you claim to protect and serve? Your actions tell us a different story. You're lying through your teeth and you're not protecting people. You're defending a building, white supremacy, and profit. You're not serving the community. You are serving an agenda rooted in fear, racism, and control. Our city deserves better. We demand better.
Thank you.
What we are witnessing with the revolving training fund is not accountability, it's a blank check for violence. This department was approved for $1.5 million in training funds, but once again, you've blown past that cap and spent $1.87 million. Because here, fiscal limits are just suggestions, and this body is nothing but a stage for performance and political theater. You're funneling public money into courses that do nothing to change the nature of policing. You paid nearly $3,000 to attend a conference called The Art of Oversight. A fitting irony for a department whose oversight is purely symbolic. You reimburse officers for courses on queer studies, disability studies, and race and racism, while at the same time, officer-involved shootings are up 35%, and in-custody deaths have increased by 50%. These trainings are not about transformation, they are shields, a way to launder your image while the violence escalates. And it's not just academic padding. This fund is underwriting the expansion of the surveillance state. Thousands of dollars are being spent to teach officers how to use invasive extraction technologies like Celebrite, which allow them to rifle through phones and digital lives with ease. These tools are paired with drones, automatic license plate readers, and real-time crime centers to create an interconnected system of control. It's not about solving crimes, it's about preemptively criminalizing entire communities, mapping our relationships, and stockpiling information so that anyone can be targeted at any time. Meanwhile, you lie about LAPD's collaboration with ICE. Fusion centers like JRIC openly share data with federal agencies, and suspicious activity reports steeped in racial profiling and anti-blackness feed directly into that pipeline. You deputize neighbors to report quote-unquote suspicious activity, embedding racialized surveillance into everyday life, all while claiming Los Angeles is a sanctuary city. Sanctuary City is a myth. You're building out real-time crime centers and fusion hubs to criminalize, detain, and deport at scale. This budget is a moral document, and it makes your intentions clear. Enrich yourselves as violence workers, expand the tools you use to spy, stalk, and terrorize, and disappear the very people this city claims to protect. Training and oversight are not about safety. They are about refining state violence and producing cover for an irredeemable institution. LAPD does not need more resources to improve. It needs to be dismantled, and will continue to expose and resist until it is.
Followed by have income.
Just to start off, sort of like Megan mentioned earlier, there is no point to talk to the police. You can say, let's try, just try, but ultimately, this is a logic that legitimizes their violence with the mere idea that this body could actually provide oversight. Violence and brutality is in their nature and mission. Protect and serve vital needs and abduct and kill anyone who dares to threaten that. This is the oversight body, rubber stamping and approving week to week more money, more programs, more trainings, more ways to wash their hands of the blood that LAPD and ICE draw daily. Now, you released a document, as Grace mentioned, on your revolving training fund. One of the items included nearly $3,000 for the 2024 AIG annual training conference, quote, The Art of Oversight, which the Inspector General attended. Ultimately, Matthew, you learned the art of oversight, so why are your piglets running around this city shooting people in the groin? Embarrassingly for all of you, it seems you're not only racist and love to clean the reputation of murderers, but you're also bad at it. Shootings have increased by over 35%. Yes, that's what they taught you in the art of oversight. We talked this whole meeting about the violence protesters have faced, but LAPD's violence goes beyond rubber bullets and live ammo. They have a whole digitized infrastructure with the tearing down and destruction of black and brown communities via real-time crime centers and fusion centers, which share information freely between LAPD, local law enforcement, and federal agencies, including but not limited to ICE. They turn people into data, run through a computer monitor so that they can be killed in real time, in real life. You're expanding real-time crime centers to all 21 divisions, and you boast the real-time footage you can acquire. The reality is, you can now support ICE in real time. You can rip families apart and shoot people in real time. In addition, LAPD works with fusion centers, which are used by LAPD for analysis of any information about a person or organization that's participating agencies deemed to be a threat to white supremacy and property. Information may be received by JRIC, as Grace mentioned, in the form of a suspicious activity report from the public or by the police. This is community informants, essentially a report of a person deemed to be suspicious. A suspicious activity report is a report that someone generates about an activity they deem to be suspicious. Taking a photo, being on a phone call, being somewhere where you're just a person of color. These reports are proven repeatedly to be steeped in racial and ethnic profiling to encourage such profiling under the guise of national security. No wonder you're working with DHS. ICE has direct access to these reports via fusion centers, and they're used to track, detain, and deport community members who are undocumented. This institutionalized spying unfolds far beyond the confines of law enforcement, which is exactly the state's intention. By building a culture of surveillance, individuals are actively deputized to reproduce state violence in our day-to-day lives. Folks feel authorized to be community informants and ingrained in the practice of racial profiling. So I'm so glad that you learned the art of oversight.
by Kristen Joy.
That is a great idea. It's freezing in here.
Thank you all for saying all that. Just echoing everything that you said, and it's also good to see some new folks coming in, so please don't stop coming. Because this is the charade that we want to expose. This is the violence we want to disrupt. And this is the system that we want to abolish. And that's exactly why we are here week after week after week, so we can expose and disrupt. Because I just want to point to a report that we released back in 2018, and the title was Before the Bullet Hits the Body. And the main premise of that report was that how conditions on the ground have been set up by the LAPD through their programs, through their operations, through their counterinsurgency operations, because this is not your regular police force, this is a counterinsurgency operation. And who are the insurgents? Who need to be stopped, who need to be controlled, who need to be monitored, who need to be datafied, and then use that data to construct any report that we want to on those individuals. And then they just kind of garnish it off by, what is this thing called? Revolving training fund, queer studies, disability studies, race and racism. If you didn't know about who the LAPD is, this would be a real joke. Megan spoke about Linda Becerra-Moran, queer studies, really, disability studies, where LAPD knows, and in their own records, 1/3 of the people that they have killed have known disabilities. And then they talk about race and racism, really. Let's talk about the suspicious activity reporting program. This is a national security program. This was set up after 9/11. And when you cut through the details and the bullshit, a few years ago, one of the reports identified that over 30% of these secret files, these national security files, identified individuals as black. In a city which has 9% black population. Where gender was identified, over 50% were identified as black women, a national security threat. What is the use of these programs? What is the functionality of these programs? Year after year after year, it's about race. It's about racial profiling. And here we are. People talk about the real-time crime center. Now we're going to see more and more, because policing over the last 30, 40 years is really steep. They have taken this whole pseudo-scientific approach called behavioral surveillance. Nothing new. But how they have codified that. Observed behavior reasonably indicative of pre-operational planning of terrorist and or criminal activity. Joy Sanchez, you're a judge. What the heck is this supposed to mean? Observed behavior reasonably indicative of pre-operational planning of criminal activity? Is it the speculative policing? Hunches policing? Shut this shit down.
Followed by Go.
As a film location manager in this town for 30 years, I have a good relationship with lots of active and retired LAPD. However, every day and night there are concerned, patriotic Los Angeles citizens peacefully and passionately protesting our friends and neighbors being hunted down and arrested by unidentified masked gunmen in unmarked vehicles and then disappeared. And children and grandparents being forced to hide in their homes like Aunt Frank, something we never believed could happen here. These protesters are taking it upon themselves to speak out, to let the detainees, the police, the city, and the world know that there are people against this. Although it seems to be acceptable to our police department based on the stance the LAPD continues to take against the protesters, initiating violence with tear gas, flash grenades, pepper balls, rubber bullets, hitting, grabbing, dragging, and piling on top of them the way that ICE detains criminals. The citizens of Los Angeles want our police department to protect us, not ICE. Our community, not a bunch of vigilante ICE repo men collecting bounties on our neighbors. The protesters are the good guys here. Stop fighting wrong people, serve the people of Los Angeles, stand with us, and stand for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
discretion advised. Viewer discretion advised.
Well, you guys can't find the Encino burglars. So, Saturday morning, I get an alert. Someone's trying to hack into my Wi-Fi. So I go around and find a car parked. Tinted windows, all blacked out, back front. And a little window cracked up, so I put a light in there, and nobody does anything. So I go ahead and I take another light out. And the guy says, I'm trying to sleep, man. I'm trying to sleep. It's a public sidewalk. So you see, this is how they do it. They scan your Wi-Fi, and then they try to break in and get your passwords. That's how they're doing this. They're casing the neighborhood and claiming they're homeless when they get caught. So an hour later, a pig calls me. And he says, oh, what's going on? So he says, that car there. Well, there's nothing wrong with that car. And it says, there's expired plates. Oh, it does? Come on, Jim, what's going on? What the fuck's going on, Jim? What, are you letting all these houses get burglarized? You getting a piece of the action? What's going on, Jim? I'm really surprised. You think we're that fucking stupid? That's how they're breaking into houses. They're casing it first, and then they come back, they report the activity, and then the teams come in when they know your patterns, and they go and do the invasion. That's how they're doing it. All you got to do is find the casers. Found you one. So you see, that's police work right there. That's what you don't do. But what you're doing on Alameda, that's a whole other fucking story. Because, you know, here we got ICE rushing in the street, grabbing somebody, shoving them in their head, and then who pulls up? LAPD. Runs out of their car, brings the baton, it's on camera, and just shoves this woman in the back and plays ball. So every fucking time you guys can help them, you guys at LAPD are helping them. Every time, Jim. Every time. Your mayor told you no. No. He doesn't know what no means. He doesn't know. He doesn't understand that. So, like last night I'm out there, they see me out there, LAPD stays the fuck away, right? I mean, what's the deal? Why? Why would you get the city sued over a kidnapping operation? You understand that they're kidnapping people under color of authority. A woman with a baby was caught on camera being shoved into a van with men. How the fuck do you do that, Rasha? You take a woman with a baby and shove her in a van with men and drive them out to the desert in Adelanto to take them? That's kidnapping under color of authority. It's kidnapping operation. Now the city's going to be sued as an accomplice. Now our city's going to be sued. But by the way, good luck there, Southers. You're fucking gone. And I am glad you hate me. I'm the only white person. I'm the only white man.
Step away from the podium.
He loves every white man but me.
Rabbi Dusty?
You love every white man but me. I'm the only one you don't like.
Thank you. We'll now move on to agenda item 3, consent agenda items. We have consent agenda items today, items 3A through.
Hey, Carlos, should Errol be voting since his term expired?
Oh, yeah, he can't vote.
Oh, sorry, guys.
And reading.
You don't have a quorum right now.
You don't have a quorum.
Leave the meeting, Errol. Your term expired.
I'm going to pull items 3A and
We get so much
3B.
legal trouble.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items A through N with the exception of A and D. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Consent agenda item 3A is the department report relative to the revolving training fund, semi-annual report.
See you next week. Really? Let me know what happens. Morning. Come on, Foxy girl. Hi, baby. Hi. Oh my God.
Okay.
So, let's put it on channel 0. Does he scare her? Oh. that's so cute. Yeah, it's slippery.
You say hi.
Aww. Aww. Aww.
She's a little weird because the marble.
The marble.
She thinks she's gonna slip. And she's like, literally feels like she has tap shoes, so it's like, she feels like she's like,
Oh, it's like tap, tap, tap. Oh.
If she walks slow, she's good, but then when she goes fast, she.
Yeah, right. Then she feels it.
Thinks she's gonna slip.
It is probably a really weird texture for them. But I like the little tap, tap, tap sound.
This isn't as bad. There's some marble that's like really slip. Like,
Yeah, this has a little bit of resistance.
No, I thought she was, so I had to get her, you know, and she just husky German shepherds. And she has, I think, like,
Okay, guys. All right.
English cattle. I think that's why.
Oh, thank you, Janet from Another Planet. And hi, guys. Can't really talk in there, but Fayette, I'm sorry, that you're going through it. Oh, Gina, lunch for you and Laura. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. That's so sweet. Okay, I'm gonna go there. Man, it gets.
4.5.
Hi.
I just want to introduce myself. I comment on your videos every once in a while. My name is Michael.
I'm like, oh, hi. Do you want to be on camera or?
Yeah, maybe if I see you again.
Next time, maybe another time. So.
Maybe another time.
But thank you for
coming. Things are going too crazy.
Yeah, thank you for commenting when you do. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate
I
it.
enjoy your videos and I enjoy yours too.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and Laura says this is Mike. He speaks up for us too. Yeah, because she's like the survivor. I'm not putting him on camera, guys, because I always try to respect that. But I'm live, so it's like the talking's there. But thank you, Michael. It's great meeting you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Man. I want to see if we can call about the permit. I think that was really good today. You're just like, you always, is that the commissioner? No. You always make great comments, but it's like you're really owning it, your space. Oh my God. She looks like oh my God, they better help her. She's a missing people.
Okay, so have you tried calling?
Oh my gosh. That's a kid. Oh, 25, okay.
This very next street. You never know.
Huh? They need help. See, this is what I worry about with Scientology, huh? Oh. She might be really confused. It's so sad. He's a good guy. I mean, he's the one that came with our. He was at our permit. Yeah. Remember, he was at the Father's Day event, right? It's like, he's like, I think, a safe place, but.
Was he one of the?
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Hi, honey.
Hey, honey. So I want to call the. So guys, I'm gonna have to go on hold for a second and see if I can call while we're here. Excuse me. Do you want me to, if I have to let you go, I'll say bye to you first, and I'll call him. But I love next time if you ever see her again.
Oh my
tell
God!
her the
And
audit
she had her
LA says
peachy
hi.
face.
Oh yeah,
I told Emily Jones her parents say hi. I asked her, Emily Jones, do you remember me? And then she said, she was like, oh, she was like kind of being like a little, but she also didn't really want to communicate with me. And then I said, are you still Emily Jones? And she was like, you can call me that. I was like, oh,
wow.
you're married again.
These people are
I
just.
said, your parents love you. They miss you.
Wow.
I just sat down.
Good for you.
And then I'm like, oh, Kirsten Peterson. Katana. Was it Katana?
Yes.
No more Kevin.
Kevin's gone.
And
Does she still have the long
Valerie's-
hair? Does she still have the long blonde
Yeah,
hair?
long,
Yeah.
brownie. It's
Brownish,
brown. She
yeah,
always
like-
had brown, blonde, sort of
Yeah,
blonde,
yeah,
brown
like brown-
hair.
yeah, like
curly.
that.
It used to be curly.
Oh, okay. It was, like,
she
straight
has
when I saw
naturally
it.
really curly hair. She's straightened it now, and so now it's brown and straight.
Okay.
And
She
like
aged-
dark brown eyes. She almost looks like glazed over, dark devil eyes almost.
Wow.
But she doesn't look evil. She just looks like the devil's eyes. But like she looks
But she
still
is
sweet.
evil.
She
Yeah,
was
she's
still
evil.
like being sweet when I was like, "Do you remember me?" She was like, "A little bit." Like she was like, "Oh God," like annoyed that I was being so
Just
nice.
like, right, that you're not
and
scared
I
of
came into
her.
the room like, "Hey,
I love
hi
it.
guys, I'm here. Waiting for me."
I love it. We had to catch up on that.
Yes, your president's commission.
I'll call this later.
It wasn't renewed. Illegally voting. Please.
Okay,
arrest
guys.
him. You should be arrested
Am I back?
for impersonating a commissioner. He
All right.
does not, there's no renewal of his commission.
Okay.
All right, I love. Oops, sorry.
Bye,
I love
guys.
you.
See you guys. Goodbye, live
Bye.
stream.
Say bye.
See you guys soon.
Bye, Foxy. Okay, go do it.
Bye, bye, guys. See you soon.
Bye. I want to, I probably had to go off again. I want to ask if I could.
If his term expires.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah. We're gonna have to. I want to go. I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, sure.
And Dusty's late for the meeting. Dusty. Hi, Dusty. Hi, Dusty. Dusty. Oh, my baby. I miss you. It's been 2 weeks. I missed it, Dusty. I miss you. I miss you. Sorry, can I use the ladies' room? They always let me through there. And then.
Threw me out of the meeting
Okay, guys, I have to put you on pause again. Sorry.
with an expired commission.
Sorry, guys. Thank you to all my mods. Oh, Dusty. Here's a good closing shot. Dusty. You're my bud. You're my bud. I love you. I love you. We all love you. Yes, we do. We're all your fan. This would be the Dusty Club. The Dusty Fan Club.
So this guy's a lookout.
Hey,
And he was a lookout.
Dusty.
You should have seen.
Such a beautiful boy.
You should have seen Dumb Jim's face when I told him. I said, "How come I'm doing your work?" Did you get a hold of him?
So-
I said, "How come I'm doing this fucking work?"
No wonder when he looked shit-faced when I walked in.
But how come they didn't renew? Are they not renewing it? Like, what's the deal with that?
I checked under his name, under the council system.
Uh-huh.
And there's only one file, the expired term. There's not a new one. I don't see an extension file. So he's expired.
So I wonder, but what's going on? Like, what do we know why?
Taking advantage of his position.
Bass apparently hasn't renewed him. Kalanche's gone too.
But she quit, right? Didn't she step down?
Well, yeah, so.
Because of the protest?
Today,
No, Marshall, you should not.
They only have 3 commissioners today. And Southern doesn't have a valid commission, so they don't have a fucking quorum.
Now, is there something in the rules where they say if, like, there's that, like, glitch that they can continue for continuing?
No, they can still have their pony show.
They can take public comment.
Yeah.
Huh.
They can take public comment. And if they had the other guy, the Latino guy, then they would have a quorum of 3 valid commissioners. But since they only have a quorum of 3, including Southerners, their quorum's in jeopardy, and they may not even have quorum for them. So all the votes they're taking are probably blank.
So that means somebody's got to do a.
They got all these fucking guys, yeah. No, look at this shit. Yeah.
I didn't pay this.
Well, they're just walking around.
Who is that? Who are they?
Doing shit.
I feel bad for this girl, though. Like,
What's up with her?
she needs help. She's home.
Sir, can you get this young woman some support out there?
Yeah. It's been requested already. It's
Well,
over.
they're taking too long.
Yeah, they're taking too long.
She needs shoes.
She's making me nervous.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to go outside because
She's not gonna attack you.
she's on drugs.
Oh, well,
She's on drugs.
She's on drugs.
I'm afraid to go out there. I'll go out there then.
So they had at the protest, or not the protest. So last night, LAPD stayed the fuck away last night. So I'm on the boulevard. So I'm on the boulevard going.
This is the Dusty Fan Club. Our monthly meeting.
Are you undocumented?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're going. Well, there's people recording it. They're going fucking crazy. And so, you know.
Go for it. No, Marshall, do not go for it.
Yeah, they're running a kidnapping.
It will destroy you and your family, everything.
They have to
Your wallet destroys everything.
stop kidnapping women and children.
Hi, sweetheart. He has human eyes. Look, I mean, he looks like a people. He looks like a people. Dusty, you look like you're wise beyond your years.
Oh, yeah. I'll be back Thursday for my
Have a suntan, food in hand. Man.
It's too much food in midday, man. That's like the worst part of the day
Look
to
at
eat.
this guy. He's unclothed.
I think
He has a job.
see, they're overeating in the middle of the day.
Brand new boots. Can we get a pair? Yes, there's no answer there.
Dusty.
So how you been, Miss Otter? Ain't seen you in a
Good.
while.
I know the city meeting's being what?
Tomorrow's the grand day because they're gonna try to silence this.
Wait, tomorrow there's a meeting?
Yeah.
I thought it started. Oh, good thing you told me. I didn't
We
know.
have a committee 8:30 in the morning, and then.
I'm not gonna be there for that.
10 a.m. meeting. So the regular
Really?
meeting-
They told me it started next week. They said it started next Tuesday.
tomorrow.
Phew, good thing
They come back tomorrow.
Look, officer, I can't even take my dog out
Right.
to urinate
It's
on the
terrible,
grass.
isn't it?
Shit,
Look at it. Isn't
because
it
this
terrible?
girl's out there terrorizing my doggy spot.
It's just horrible. It's just terrible what's going on.
Go get her. go
Yes,
get her
please
a
watch
happy-
it.
Sign a complaint?
Can't you get her a Happy Meal or something? Hey, sir, can you please help this poor woman out here in the road? What's this fucking homeless crisis about? This is insane.
She said she's a missing person. She told.
They're all missing fucking persons in the street.
They're all missing persons. Let me use the bathroom. Uno mas.
What's that noise?
Miss Otter, I got some
Thank you. Thank you. I could always use notes.
For tomorrow's meeting.
Awesome.
So there's the item we're talking about is the N and C word rules now.
What, now, is that going to be in, okay, so that's going to be at the 10 o'clock meeting?
Yeah.
Now, what else is there any afternoon meetings?
I'm sure there is, but
They're not posting them like they were. Now I'm trying to
I
find.
don't want you to be informed. But I'm gonna walk over there after I'm done here and get that and then head back home because I have to go pay bills. Oh, the donut man, my favorite stop in the morning downtown. The donut lady has the donut man in her hand. Come back, come back. Oh, and
You know, Pepper, I get
back,
sniffed.
Officer. Where's your mental health crisis service?
You're so sweet.
All the millions and billions of dollars that I've been funding to get homeless niggers off the street. And you still got a white woman out there now who's homeless.
You said a dirty word.
Muting for bad language. Okay. All right, bye. That's D.
$10. Did you lose your coupon?
I don't know what the sound is.
So anyways, we saw it, yeah, tomorrow at
Yeah.
10 a.m.
Okay, so I didn't even know. They told me when I was there yesterday.
Send bicycle
For-
man upstairs to the clerk's office. Pull up all the agendas since you're already here.
Yeah, I could.
You stay in the bottom and watch his bike while he goes upstairs to get the info.
No, he wouldn't be. Yeah, he might confuse it.
No, just go to the clerk's office. You know where the clerk's office is, right, bicycle man?
Yeah, but then I have to do a whole middle detective.
Yeah, so he's too lazy.
That's kind of drag.
I'm sure we'll find it online.
If I
But
was inside, I would do it.
All right, guys.
all right, bye.
Bye. We'll see you guys.
Wow, I didn't know the meetings start tomorrow. Okay, so good. Public Works tomorrow, and I just have good. Then I could go back to. We're back early. Where's Shrimp? Yeah, he didn't show up today. I don't know where Shrimp is. Yes, extremely. Yes, he's mentally ill. But Dusty takes, is his service dog. And Dusty, oh man, I love Dusty so much. You have to see him in person though. His eyes are just so like brown and soulful. Like, I don't know, almost human like. But anyway, I'm gonna get going. So okay, back to normal tomorrow. I thought I had the rest of the week off, but it's good that we don't. Interesting about I guess Earl Southers not being able to, what they're going to do with that. But they don't go by the rules. None of them do. But, I think I'm really proud of everyone calling in. And I love that Mike guy stood up for us too. And Phil called in, whatever. And I just appreciate all that people outside of our normal protesters are getting it and they're saying stuff. So it is great news. And then, what was I going to say? Everyone, I think, did great. Laura's really coming into her own. She used to always have great messages, but at first she would say, I'm nervous. She's not shaking. She's so bold now. It's just getting that practice under her belt. We're going to catch up later on what happened. Oh, there she is. There's Laura. She's just getting. So I was just saying, bragging on you. Like I said, your message was always solid. But at first, remember, you'd call me and be like, this is triggering like PTSD. You didn't have any of that anymore. Like you're just conquering it and nailing it, and I love it. And I hope it continues. Like that, you keep coming because Laura, it's just you're the one they need to hear from. I love that they're hearing from all of us and a bunch of people, but there's something powerful about saying I was raised in this. I know. These things firsthand rather than hearing about it. So yeah, it does get easier and easier, but she's just nailing it. But Laura, you have to catch up with me with what they said when you went to the other. I don't know if you're going to do a live later. I hope they got you somebody, puppy, to talk to, that they're actually going to help. If not, we'll just keep bugging them till they do. Oh, this poor puppy. Man, I forgot to bring my other bag with it. Yeah, I know we're all learning from her from that, and I love that she's like meets Kirsten Catano and just like sets her straight, not letting any of them intimidate her. And that's going to go a long way for other victims who, you know, might be scared or might still be intimidated by like the Kirstens of the world. And I'm glad that that is not the case with her leading the way. In fact, we want Kirsten to be the one intimidated, right? Okay. And that's it, right? We want Kirsten should be the one intimidated. Yeah, she is. And no, right? She's growing and healing in front of her eyes. And I think that's amazing. I'm going to wait for him to stop. I don't want to get sprayed. It feels like I hear someone crying, it sounds like.
Yeah, you're crazy.
But anyway, we're going to go to the train. No, I think she's crying. I'm going to ask her if she's okay.
I guess you're right, yeah.
I'm not going to put her on, no. Are you okay? Do you need help or anything? I'm sorry. You sure you don't need any help or anything? Hopefully it gets better. If there's anything I can do. Aw, poor thing. Oh, so, you're watching the wrap up of after the police commission, but someone was she was crying pretty loud, but she said she doesn't need help. She's just feeling sad. And so, all right, guys. Yeah, in fact, wait, stay to stay here. I'm just saying, I think the bus stop's that way, but I mean the train. But you too. I think everything combined sent such a powerful message today. Like all of it, it's almost like we're all getting that rhythm of working off each other, and it's just it's amazing. And so I can just tell from being there. Laura, I don't know what your experience was when you were up there talking, but for me, like when I was saying, please, do not go to their night out, their national night out event, that you have to separate. Earl Southers was like nodding strongly, like up and down, like letting me know he was nodding in agreement. So they're picking on him, I guess, because he's whatever. But I think we have a sympathizer, and even Rasha was a little bit. She was like kind of in acquiescence, but like I thought that. Errol Southers, he was like, yeah, man. And he refused. Like when they invited him to go, Janet invited him to do like a tour of Blue. He told his secretary to get him out of it, so he would not take up their invitation. So, so in that sense, we may have a sympathizer with Earl, may not want him to leave. I was shocked. Yeah, we got a lot of calls in. So I don't know, Laura, because sometimes I know it's hard to watch and pay attention to what they're doing because, you're thinking of your words, it's just, when you're up there, it's like kind of overwhelming. But no, he was making it so obvious. So I think we all need to work on Errol Southers. And Amy, yours was like really powerful. I love how you're doing that in antics too, and everyone, and it's just, yeah, we did. We got a lot in. Finally. But guys, I'm going to get off. I'm going to find the train. It's right around here somewhere. But, Laura, you know what? He's not off yet. I mean, it's just that the mayor hasn't renewed his seat. So we don't know whether or not she's going to renew it. But right now, it's like in a limbo. And so I don't know. I think he's now. I never knew if I liked him or not, but he was like I said, he was nodding so hard. I was shocked. Like I was surprised how strongly he was acquiescing when I was saying, "Please, you cannot go to their events." So I think we got him on our side. You know, yeah, Laura's going to be, she's going to be a massive advocate. And like I said, in person, she's going to, yeah, she's already an advocate, massive advocate, but it's hard. It's intimidating to go up there on that podium and with the, you know, the chief and the OIG and, right, and all those people looking at you. And so it takes a minute to get your stride. But then when you do it, it's like cathartic, right? It's freeing, it's liberating. And oh, they're getting way less permits. They're not hardly getting any at this point. Like it's definitely changed. We're definitely getting the right people because they used to remember they'd be shut down that street over 6 months, 7, 8 months a year, entire weeks. Now they're not even getting full weekends. So like then it started getting okay. They could get the whole like 4 days of the week. Now they're barely getting 1 or 2 days. So it is. And that's tomorrow. I don't know, poor Laura dragging her to all these meetings. But tomorrow is Public Works and City Council back to business. So, you know, we just keep pushing. And then with the police, I mean, there's progress there too. They're not doing their overtime protection of, you know, of their events. But now we got to get them to not do any events. That's my goal. Like I'm going to, if they do not have anyone at that event, and then their Christmas events, they got to stop. And then we got to push, guys. You know what? I want to do a little call of action. It's going to take me a minute till I can get home, and I hope I don't forget. I got so much on my mind. But we need to get in contact with the fire commission and the fire department and demand that they not show up for their night out, their national night out event on August 4th at Big Blue. You know, they can go to other ones, but not that one. We need to push that and make them really, like, if they do go, it's like, well, you've been warned, you know, that this is what they do. And, you know, and that you're not being neutral, you're not being fair. That's true. Like, it would, you know, like I'm feeling it build up inside me, just like not having city council for 2 weeks, you know. But I do notice this too. Like when I would go in the trains, you'd see like by my earlier videos, I'd get really snippy with the officers just asking everybody for their card and all that, and I was just like snippy. But now I get it out so much that when I see when I see officers, I can be pleasant. You know, I mean, I can say hi, how are you know, because I'm getting all of it out. So it does really help release anger and frustration and build up like resentments. You know, so it really does help. You know, and I love it. I love to see more. I wish they gave more time. You know, and I really want us to try to get Public Works to give more time. Because Ganja said it right. Like, at least even once a month or something, give 2. But I think if it had to be consistent, 2 minutes is good. But anyway, guys, so I'm going to get off. Thank you for my mods, for everyone coming, for watching, all the speakers, the gifters, everything, guys. I truly appreciate you. Oh, and there was somebody who, I don't know if they're still here, wanted to know why I protest Scientology. And it's because I do not see it as a religion. They have a religious status. But I see it as an institution that is, from its core, from the core up, is destructive to the human psyche, to the human mind, emotions, body, families. It will destroy your families. It will destroy your sense of self. It erases who you are. It's just nothing but, to me, a destructive entity. And I know there's some people, you know, yes, we have the freedom to work, you know, whatever, do it, you know, pursue things. You know, we're allowed to be self-destructive here. We're allowed to pursue that stuff, but they should not be sanctioned by the government on any level. And no children should ever be allowed to participate. You know, like you want to go to a bar and drink yourself an early death, whatever, you have the right to do that, but it shouldn't be sanctioned by the government, and no children under 21 should be allowed. So that's my take on that for the guy that asked. And I also want to thank Phil Tabby for calling in the times that he has been supportive. I just think it's great, and that others are calling in like that, or, you know, and supporting us. So thank you, guys. I'm going on and on and on. And Fayette, you feel better. If you need anything, man, like I'm feeling bad that you're feeling bad. And Laura, I hope everything goes well with your appointment. And yes, can't wait to get the book. I hope mine comes today. Although right now I'm reading David Miscavige's dad's book, and it turns out I grew up really close to Davey. We traversed the same streets. Who knows? I may have bumped into him at, wherever. But I find that really funny and fascinating. Anyway, but that being said, I'm gonna get going so I want to do some stuff, get some work done before tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.